Hi everyone. How you doing? Glad you could make it. As you can see, I have Zoe.
Hey guys,
Hi Zoe, how you doing?
can you ask me in about 30 minutes how I'm doing?
Yeah, I can. I understand. Just like I said, just hey, be yourself. We all love you. If you don't know Zoe, well then you'll have to join Foul Play Discord. And she has her and the team have made a Follow Play website, which is wonderful. All of us YouTubers are on there. There's tons of documents. The latest of everything you could want to know is on there. So make sure you go check that out. I'm sure my mods will put a link in, and everybody's saying hi to you, Zoe. So I'm just going to pop off real quick and ask you, what is it about ma'am that made you become such a strong supporter?
Well, I don't even know how everything with Ma'am started for me because I don't have Netflix, and here in Slovenia no one really reported about the case. So I was thinking about it really hard, how I got into Ma'am and where I saw it for the first time. And I just couldn't remember. I just know I ended up bench watching both seasons, and I know at that time, that was about 1.5 years ago, I was sure the boys are free. Um,
Yeah,
so so I just, I started to investigate a little bit. I wanted to know when and how they got out, and I was totally shocked to find out they were still locked up. I mean,
made you mad.
yeah, it just didn't make any sense. It was ridiculous that they were still in prison.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, probably my road to being a supporter is pretty similar to everyone else's. Just joining um, Facebook groups, started watching YouTube videos, YouTube channels, and then I found out about all those documents that were out there. I just
yeah,
I was so shocked because in Slovenia or in Europe you would never have access to that kind of documents. And um, everything was so new for me. And um, seeing all those legal documents for the first time, I was really excited. And um, everything was so new. And I didn't even know where to start reading, what to read.
right.
And then the language barriers, I didn't know what the half of those documents even meant. Um,
Don't feel bad. We don't either, and we're from America.
yeah, it was, well, I do understand those silly reports the Manitoba Sheriff's Department officers wrote.
Yeah,
um, but what's beyond that, like court documents, I really need like subtitles, translation into normal English.
yeah.
um
Well,
yeah.
I do too. You learn. I mean, you just learn as you go along. So as you read, I mean, because for me, when I got in, there was a lot of documents, not as much as they're finding now with the FOIA and all that other stuff, which by the way is on the Discord. Plug again on the Discord channel. You can join that server. It's a completely different server, but you can join it and find out what people have FOIA and what kind of documents people are getting. And when you read the longer you read, I mean, you become like a lawyer, or don't you think? I mean, you start to really understand that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If someone would ask me to explain those documents in Slovenian language today, I would say, you know what, just use the dictionary. I don't even know how to explain those words in Slovenian language. I know what things mean, but
Right.
how the heck am I allowed to say heck?
Hell, yeah. You can cuss. You can say fuck me on here if you wanna.
Mm,
I'm only
okay.
kidding. I'm only kidding. But my channels, yeah,
Um,
no, we don't worry about it. So
how would I translate ledger into Slovenian language? I have no idea, but I
Right.
do know what it means.
Yeah.
Now I have that problem. I can't even explain to Slovenian people what it's all about.
Right. So you don't really have a lot of people that are in Slovenia that understand or know or you can talk to. Well, look,
No one.
America, my family don't talk to me about it. They think I'm cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? But now some of the people that thought I was so crazy are starting to watch it now, so maybe you should pass it off to some of your friends, download it and give it to them.
Yeah, the friends I have don't speak English very well,
Mm,
and then that becomes a problem because um, the Making a Murderer I saw, like in Slovenia, all the movies that are playing in television, we always have subtitles, Slovenian subtitles, and we are just used to it, And
right.
Making a Murderer doesn't have Slovenian subtitles; it's just in English and all the other languages. So I try to get people to watch it. It's just the language barrier is there for them.
Right. Well, maybe we could get them to put subtitles for your country. I mean, they should by now. I mean, there's so many worldwide. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't think there's a place in this world that you can name that has not seen or has some people supporting it from their country. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, Jax. My people thought I was way before this too, but now they really think I'm over the deep end. But some of them that are understanding it now, it's a lot easier. I mean, I found personally when I started this, just like you, I couldn't believe. I thought this is, it's done with, they're out. If it is even true.
Mhm.
If it's true, because I thought it was so outrageous, especially being the state right next door to me. I mean, it's like I drive over there, I've been there. You're telling me that this stuff goes on this close to home and it happens to somebody who was, I just couldn't catch, my mind did not wrap around it. And my daughter got sick hearing me talk about it and watching it 24/7. I mean, it was on my TV continually. She said, Mom, check out YouTube. And I said, what is that? Little do you know, here I am on my own YouTube channel. Okay,
Awesome.
so to me, that's just cuckoo. Okay, so I get it. So when you started, like, did you just what I was thinking, what I was doing was like I just got on the computer and Googled and Stephen Avery, and then things just started popping up. A lot of YouTube's. Eric Hosey's was the first that popped up for. Well, actually, it was Jack. It was Ripper Jack, Eric Hosey, and Phoenix, Mama Phoenix.
Mhm.
Casey. So them were the ones that I looked at, and then Perplex. I watched hers, and then I just kind of joined from that. I mean, I just felt comfortable in one of them and started talking because I found out less opinion and more facts was what I really wanted to know. Because I wanted to
Mhm.
know, are they trying to get this guy out? Does he have any more chances? What about poor Brendan? So
Yeah.
how is that for you looking into it?
Yeah. Probably the same, Facebook groups, YouTube channels. I The first channel that popped up for me was Rubber Ducky's channel, and I
Mm-hmm.
really watched a lot of her videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I ended up in her Discord server, and I really did learn a lot while being in her group. But I also learned or started to learn about the whole mem community.
Yeah,
There are so many amazing people out there.
I agree.
Um, so yeah, probably for everyone started with like YouTube and Facebook and reading all the documents and stuff like that. So I'm no different here.
Right. It's just how far do you take it? Some people just want to know if it's still going on, and then they're happy to find out. Well, okay, and they pop in once in a while. You see him. Is he
Mhm.
still? So I get that. You know what I mean? But for me, I don't know. I just really strongly said this is wrong. this is so wrong and I want to do something about it. And
Yeah.
I'm just one person, but then when I found all of it, I couldn't believe how many supporters there were, you know? I mean, when you're
Mhm.
just talking basically one-on-one to a few people in a server, you really don't. Then you see more and more people joining. Well, now that brings me to you and the team. Can you explain that to us? I mean, because I think it's fantastic what you all have built over there. It is something that this community, the MAM community, has needed for so long. And I really would love you to just tell us all about that.
Well, um, when we parted from RD, we started Foul Play. It was Silkman, Big Jeff, Sammy, BB, Lily, and me. So 6 people.
Mhm.
And we really didn't have any idea what we wanted to do, what we are going to do. And then in the Facebook group, Julie, something I can't pronounce
That's
her
okay.
last
I do it all
name.
the time. They know who they are.
Yeah, I think Julie knows what Julie it is. She suggested this motto for Foul Play, team together, everyone achieves more.
I
And
love it.
yeah, that's just something that made me thinking big time. I wanted Foul Play to be about everyone and about team approach. And it just clicked with all 6 of us.
Mhm.
We just wanted the same thing. We wanted to support everyone. We wanted to be involved with everyone. We wanted everyone to be welcome in our Discord server. I personally, I wanted to meet all kinds of people with different theories and different
Mhm.
views, because um, what keeps us going and thinking? I
Right.
bet it's not if everyone's on the same page all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I think that just makes us get stuck. And I personally need different views, because that's what keeps my gears spinning.
Right. You can't stay in one
Um,
box, you know. You got
exactly.
you got
Yeah.
to jump out of the box. I mean,
Hmm.
because tunnel vision is
Exactly.
really what happened to Stephen. So
Oh,
we can't
exactly.
have tunnel vision. And I find that over on the Foul Play Discord, everybody is open to say whatever they want, whatever their views are. And I respect that. I don't have to agree with it. And
No.
I make mistakes and you find out, but they all treat you with respect.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because of what you started with the team, together
Hmm.
everybody achieves more. Is just a fantastic way of looking at things. So
Yeah.
continue. I just wanted to say that.
No, it's like you said. I it just everyone is welcome in a Foul Play. And as long as people are respectful.
Yeah.
I just, along the way, I have learned a lot of things, and I have also learned that not everybody is friendly in this community. I
Right.
have seen drama and fights, and that just made me sad, because um, we are here and we have the same goal, right?
Right.
So why is it so wrong if people have different opinions than we do? I mean, why is it wrong if someone thinks the RAV4 is blue and not green?
Yeah, it's
Or
not.
why is it wrong if someone thinks Teresa is still alive? I mean,
Right.
um, see, this case is so fucking twisted. I'm gonna say the
Yes, it
word.
is. It is.
Uh,
It's twisted. Nothing makes sense.
no, and the whole Queso report is a fairy tale. And
Right.
how do we even know what is true and what's not? And
Hmm.
we can't, with all the paperworks we have now. It's impossible to be sure that any of that is even real or true.
Yep.
And the law
Yep.
enforcement has just proven so many times that evidence can be planted and fabricated. So
Exactly.
why do we need to fight about our views instead of fighting? Isn't it better to accept other people's thoughts and try to work on that?
I agree 100%. Well said. Very, very well said. I'm sure everybody will agree with that. You know, I find myself sometimes getting mad about
Mm-hmm,
certain people's speculations because what
mm-hmm.
we're doing is speculating. Doesn't anyone in any of these groups know anything about what is going on? You know what I mean?
I
They just don't.
I
So
do.
you have to speculate. So who knows if Teresa's alive? We don't. Okay, because what they scientifically put there does not match. I don't
Mm,
care. Scientifically, that stuff does not swing with me. Okay. And I'm not a scientist, but it just doesn't because the standards aren't there. Okay. And we see, like KZ says, one thing planted, then you have to think everything else is. Okay. So
exactly.
we are all speculating. And I love
Mm,
the approach of everybody's opinion, everybody's speculation, everybody's discussion matters. It's sometimes hard as a human, I believe, to accept when you believe something so strongly in another way. Okay.
mhm.
Like, for instance, and I'm not putting names out there, but I said something that I was asked to stop and it upset somebody else. And that made me look like my mind was closed.
Mhm,
Okay. But
mhm.
it's not. It really isn't. It was about something somebody asked me to do. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I was
I
trying to
do.
respect that. You know what I mean? So
I do.
that's all that was. But that's what I mean. When you get into discussions, sometimes, especially through text, things can be, different languages, words mean different things,
Yes.
Do you find that a problem when, I mean, I don't really have that problem all the time. I barely do. In fact, you know what I mean? I I don't I try to listen to everybody,
Mhm.
you know.
I do.
So
I know what you mean. Yeah. And I always keep in mind, sometimes when we write in Discord or if you write in chat,
mhm,
written words can be so different than spoken words.
mhm.
If you're in a bad mood or have something personally going on, you read a message. You could read a message as an attack, and it's definitely
Yeah.
not an attack. And so I think if there comes to a tension between people, it's really better to just get in the phone and talk to each other. I think a
Mhm.
lot of misunderstandings happen with writing, and then I personally, I can so easily use words that are wrong, and I mean nothing bad.
Oh,
Um,
exactly.
so I have to be extra careful with what I say and check if people understood what I meant to say.
Right. I'm
Um,
constantly saying, "Do you understand what I mean? Do you
mhm,
understand what I mean?" So,
yes.
I get that. And believe me, being from another country, I think a lot of people from other countries understand this more than some of us Americans. And I don't know if it's because they really have to search what words mean or, translate it all. So it makes them think like double time. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like twice learning something. Do you think that's probably true? I mean, you twice learn something, don't you? You're reading it or seeing it in like your language, and then boom, you're trying to translate it. It's and words don't
Um,
look the same. Our language is screwy here. We got three different theirs. Okay, you know what I mean?
oh no, I don't think. Well, try learning Slovenian language, then you'll
Mhm.
see what a hard language is like.
Is
You
mhm.
you have singular and you have plural. Like one person,
Two.
singular.
Yep.
Two or more is plural,
Yeah.
and we have singular, dual, and plural.
Oh
So,
wow. Yeah.
um, yeah, but um, the words and translating, I really try not to translate words from Slovenian to English or opposite. Okay, maybe things, some like, I don't know, uh, a cup. Maybe
Mhm.
I would go and translate what a cup of tea is. What do you say in English? But I wouldn't go and translate sentences. I rather ask people so they explain it in different words
Mhm.
and go maybe around it and explain to me. I rather do that.
Yeah, yeah. So now that you're like all into this, and I don't know how many years you've even been into it, but it seems like a lot. Now that you're all into it, what is like your what's the one thing let's just put it this way, let's back that up. I can confuse you very easily, and I'm not trying to. What is the one thing that made you say, I can't take this anymore, I have to join these groups and I have to start finding out more because this part here just isn't right, even in my country?
The injustice. I really hate the injustice that,
Yeah.
a person that is always been an underdog just gets pushed around like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the main thing for me. And um,
Who's your
wait,
villain?
one. I only have to.
Okay. No, you can name them all. I don't care. I have several. One is Oh Helly, the other one's Meow Meow, and then I found out some things about old Fassy Boy that I just really, he's right on up there, okay?
Everybody in Manitoba Sheriff's Department is
Yeah.
a villain, and then the officials in Calumet County are villains. I I think we will be sitting here for like 27 hours if I start counting all the villains. Why don't we start to count the good people? We'll
Okay.
be over in 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, yeah, it'll be over in 30 seconds. Oh gosh, that's so true. Some people out here are saying, Jamie Hart says, Zoe, it says Zoe, you are very easy to understand. I think your presentation and thoughts are effective. They're effectively. You're saying them effectively. See, I can't even read English, let alone speak it. So don't you even feel bad. But if you guys have a question, you can ask it. But I'm just gonna let Zoe talk about what her goal is with this team and how you've seen it grow. Because to me, I just joined not too long ago, and I tell you what, I feel so comfortable there. I don't feel dumb if I have a question. I mean, everybody is so supportive and makes you really feel like you're a part of something. And I think everybody there feels that way. I can't speak for everybody. I just know that I've been in this for 3 years. I've never found a group where I've got a certain amount of people, Jamie and T1 and Allie and them, they're my way back friends, but the new people I meet here, very supportive. The old people I see there, very supportive. Everybody, including admins and mods, are very supportive there. So thank you, but let's see what you think about how it's grown.
Oh boy. Well, we have created the channel on August 26th, 2019. So we have been around for 8 months, and that's not a long time actually. And I think we have achieved a lot in those 8 months. We have uploaded probably around 2,000 videos.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, most of them are the calls, the jail calls, but still, it's just
Oh yeah,
a good feeling to know there's so much on our channel. And what I'm especially proud of is, the website. That's like my little baby,
yeah,
because
it's wonderful.
I have never ever made a website before. I was never involved in making websites. I hardly knew how to spell website, and I was so excited for to again learn something new. And since we started Foul Play, I have learned so many new things and programs, and everything that's going on in the background. And it's just amazing. And because I really do love learning new things, experimenting with graphics, with programs. I just love it. And for the growth of the channel, what we have achieved, um, I don't really care about the numbers, the views and stuff like that. For me, um, it's more important that we have built this community where no individual is important, but where everyone is important in its special way. Just everyone matters here.
Yep.
And we have so many people who are involved in all kinds of projects, and that makes me really proud. Working together where no one is seeking for fame or for any personal agendas. We have, I don't know, groups of people who are recording the Avery file readings. They're
Oh
writing jail
yeah.
calls, summaries, researching all kinds of rabbit holes, preparing and recording podcasts. Um, I don't know. Have I forgotten something?
No, I think powder. Well, we got powder puff. You
Yeah,
got powder
that's.
puff that's going on, and
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Um,
just you can go into Discord and you can just find everything. You can find everybody that you might have just passed on Facebook and seen. I've seen faces that are, I mean, people that are like, oh, I didn't really know you were that into this. I see a post once in a while, but some
mm,
really brilliant thinkers, I'll tell you. And you have Dr. Silkman. He's such he's very good. I don't know how to. I just have a loss of
Oh,
words when it comes
Silkman.
to
Yeah,
him.
Silkman. Silkman's awesome.
Right?
Silkman can be, maybe for a lot of people, Dr. Silkman is like maybe at the beginning a little bit intimidating, because he's
Yeah.
the
He,
doctor and he knows so many things, but he's such a funny guy. He makes jokes, and he's really just, um a lot of fun to be around. He's
yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Like
Here we
everyone
go.
else. Like everyone
Can you
else.
read the thing that comes across as I'm trying to put up some of the things people are saying?
Yeah, I try not to read it. I have survived for 27 minutes. Yes.
You're doing great. I mean, this is a great to me. It's you are saying so much of everything that my channel stands for. My channel stands for the supporter. I want everybody to have a voice. And believe me, this is an invitation to anybody who wants to get out there and come on and tell your story. You are more than welcome to contact me through Discord, Facebook, my YouTube channel. You're welcome to be on here. I have been trying to get Zoe on here for a long time, especially even before I joined Foul Play. So I am very honored to have you today. You're saying exactly what is going on in Discord, what's going on in this community, and has really, really helped put this community together. I honestly think that the team approach is really the best because we are standing on the step of justice, and there's plenty of room. Let's all just know that we all want to be putting them puzzles together, trying to connect dots that just they seem so far away, like, and zigzagged and loop that they'll never come together because this case is just so fucking screwy.
That's
I
true.
think it's great. Let's see
Oh,
what's
I would like to point out something. When you were talking about people coming onto your channel, um,
Mhm.
um, I because I really am a shy person, and doing this is really totally not me. So I would like to point out a person who gave me the courage to do this live with you, Linda, and
Yeah.
it's Jerome from the French Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
I was watching a video with Eric Cozy the other day, and Jerome was on, and I was so impressed with him that it was awesome to hear his French accent and him sitting there acting all cool and confident and relaxed, and
Mhm.
it was really awesome. So thank you very much, Jerome, for
Yep. Thank you,
giving me the
Jerome.
courage.
That's all I
And
can say is thank you.
yeah, and maybe I can give courage to someone else to get on with you, Linda.
Yeah.
Because Linda is really an amazing person and a great supporter. And I feel
Thank you.
very honored that you and are part of Foul Play. So yeah, just it's really not that scary. It's a little bit scary, but
Yeah,
it's not that
it's
scary.
scary for me. A lot of times I'm just meeting the person that I've only talked to or tweeted with for just a couple times, but
Mm-hmm.
it just it's all it is conversation, and it's what we do every day. My channel is what we do every day. It's laid back, it's we make mistakes, we're human, but this is what we're looking for. These are our questions, and maybe somebody has the answers. That's what it's about. And it's been, oh, I am so happy you're on here because you said so many things. And forget that you can't speak stuff. That was just because you're shy. But now you've been out here, you've really explained a lot of what I have been trying to say to this community through having supporters on. Everybody has different views, everybody's been on it for a different reason. I've had people on here that their main reason was Brendan because they have a child who has a learning disability or who is slow or who they've lost, or and that breaks my heart. I mean, because I watch Ma'am all the time, but when it comes to the Brendan, that's why I don't watch Ma'am 2 a lot, I think, is
Yeah,
because it really deals with disappointment about Brendan. And that's very hard for me. I have children and they have children, and I just worry about everybody's children being
of
taken
course.
advantage like Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too heartbreaking for me, but I don't mind discussing it. But I get so affected watching his confession and stuff that, I mean, I really get depressed and down, and it affects me. So I try to go on to other things. But I found a lot of answers about Brendan that I didn't understand before, the legal things, because to me, I mean, you look at it, you got to have no brain cells if you don't think he's coerced. What do you think of that? That all these things we know, they can't just let him out, I mean, doesn't that just
It does, and it's just what I'm impressed with is how Brendan, if you're talking about Brendan now, how he's handling all of this. I mean,
yeah.
we can learn so much from him. You
Hmm.
know, he's he's a slow learner. Um, he grew up in a family where I think um, cussing was like every day. Um, but he's such a gentle soul, and he takes everything so relaxed and is never upset and is positive, even
Yeah.
when he should have be out, and then he wasn't. In, like, I don't know, from one day to another they changed everything. I mean, I would be breaking things, and he was just like, oh,
Yeah.
when I
Like
come out
just,
I'll be out. Just,
yeah. He's got so much hope, even
yeah,
after having everything just slammed down. I mean, according to his lawyers and his family, he's got so much hope, and he's still so bright. In fact, they feel bad about him, but when he speaks back to him, I've heard a lot of people who write to him say that he just brings them up. He makes
yeah.
them feel good, and I don't think I could have that attitude if it was me. In
Oh,
fact, I know I couldn't, because I just am, I'm a very short fused person, actually, and that kind of stuff would just piss me off. But then I probably, after a few years, realized that I'm only beating my own head against the wall. So try to do something positive. A lot of that
yeah.
happens, or you become so institutionalized. Like, I'm really worried about Brendan when he gets out. What are your thoughts about Brendan getting out? Because they really don't offer prisoners any kind of counseling. I think they maybe should start doing that. I don't know.
Oh boy, I don't even know how a person feels after 14 years being locked up, and you were 16 years old when you went to prison. You were a child, and
Hmm.
then you come out and you're over 30.
Hmm.
I don't even know how the brains work. You
Yeah.
know, are you still in your head still that 16-year-old child, or do you? I don't even know how to answer that.
Yeah.
I do think about it a lot, and I'm sure he can't stay in Wisconsin. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
how he's gonna manage to do this transfer from prison to a normal life, I think
Hmm.
that's really really hard.
It is. And I agree. It's like he only knows the last things he's seen out of
Mhm.
prison, like what the televisions were like, what his games were like. He only knows the surroundings as what they used to look like. His
Mhm.
mom has since moved. His uncle doesn't live there anymore. They don't live on the salvage yard property anymore. His school is completely different. I mean, all his friends are either married, have children, or gone. I mean, to me, I think you'd be stuck in the only thing you know, because they
Yeah.
really don't give you any information about this. I mean, Brendan has really no idea about all of us. He knows he
Mm.
has supporters, but he doesn't know everything. I mean, all the things that people have done and looked into, and I think that's really going to be amazing for him, and maybe overwhelming, but I think it's going to be amazing for him to know that he was loved that much,
Yeah.
and cared, that his justice got seen, that his truths were out there, because we all know Brendan didn't use a damn word of his own. It was all fed to him. Anything he did say came from a damn movie or a book he was reading, and he just wanted to help. I mean, that's him.
He wanted to go to the sixth period and present a project. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I
how?
mean, you're a teacher, aren't you? Aren't you a teacher? So, do you deal with younger or older?
Well, I deal with children aged 6 to 14, 13,
Okay,
14.
so you kind of understand that in
I
the
do.
teenage, right?
I
I
do.
mean, oh, can you imagine your I'm sorry, phone call.
Okay.
Can you imagine one of your students like being taken out of class like that and never coming back? Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do.
Don't leave me alone here, Linda. Oh no, she left me alone. Uh-oh. I think
That was a wrong number. They interrupted us for a wrong number, and they called twice.
you left me alone with all those people.
No, you had everybody in chat to talk to,
I'm
you
not
know.
looking at
Oh, well, they have nothing but good things to say. I'll tell you that right now. And do you know how long we've been on?
38 minutes.
Did it go fast?
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It does go fast. See, it's not that bad being up here, is it? No, it's not. Some people are saying Brendan developed it. Oh, Brendan development I can't even read it. He's stuck and will be stuck at the stage of his life 16 going on 11. Yeah, probably the longest time, shameful and unacceptable. I agree, Neverly, 1000%. I really do. Dr. Stuckman, Brendan is what keeps me inspired to continue exposing the state's shenanigans. Yeah, I think for me, it was Brendan. I wanted to find out if that, because I was like in the trial going, that can't, no, he's not going to jail. Are you serious? Come on. Them guys were telling him where the bullet came from, you know what I mean? And he was and that was before I even looked into documents. When you seen, ma'am, and now you see all them documents, what is your thoughts about that? The way they put the movie together and then all the things you see now.
Oh, I just realized the more you read, the more you know, the more questions you have. You know, when I ended watching Ma'am both seasons, like I said, I was relaxed. I was pretty sure they're out. And when I realized they were still locked up, I just uh, Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Exactly. I am not kidding you. I was like, I still, it blows my mind. It does. But I do know that, unfortunately, with everything we do have, it's not like we can just go present it. It has to be presented by a lawyer, and we have to have permission to do that. And the state's lollygagging. Let's face it, pandemic has given the state the time they want. Okay. And maybe a little extra.
I'm pretty sure they let this corona out.
Yeah, they might be
made in Wisconsin.
Yes, I agree. I do. But so now they got all this time because we really don't know. I mean, they say in May 8th, May 28th, or whatever it would be, right? Because they made a mistake. We really don't know if they've even corrected that yet. But they've got a lot of time. They don't give that kind of break to Kathleen at all. I have not seen them give her a break at all. They're totally fighting her. Do you think it's because the AG and all them are just like, they kind of got control about what really gets seen and doesn't get seen? We're finding that out because they hid papers. They hid CDs, lied on several things, like, Helly lying about Brendan's lie detector test and all that kind of, I mean, there's so many things. I've never seen a lawyer who's had 3 Brady's, 3 Denny's, inefficient lawyer. I mean, prosecutional misconduct. I mean, the list goes on, and not let alone the evidence. Okay. The bullet, I mean, we all know, like everybody says, she's not Pinocchio. That's wood in there. And you microscopic and go boom, 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 boom. Are they going to come back and say, oh, we can't use that? That we can't use that kind of junk science, I mean, that they make up their own rules.
They do, and all the time. Don't forget Mr. Ken Kratz, and I'm just sweating like Ken Kratz right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He had this video from jail in his possession.
Right.
I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
Who knows how many things he has in his possession he shouldn't have.
Right. Do you think maybe that's why he's like silent now? KZ caught on to that and put a gag order or demanded to see things? Or do you just think it's another one of his ploys? You never know.
I don't know if KZ, I mean, look how much he said, just him being a freaking narcissist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him to go away. I would want him to talk more.
Yeah, because the more he talks, the more he lets out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was really shocked when Buting said that he had no idea, that he had never seen that tape, that you're talking about. So for his lawyers not to know this stuff, that it was withheld, and I'm sure that Kathleen got a hold of that and probably dug into some more, because we don't see everything that she's going to present in an evidentiary hearing, right?
Yeah.
And she can present everything and will be given everything if she gets that. I do believe that's how it works. I could be wrong, but I mean, that wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I don't think she's writing everything in her motions. I think she has something that she's gonna present for the first time in the evidentiary hearing. So I really hope she has something. I really do. But
yeah, I do
also,
too.
I'm sure she has, because there are so many things she needs to talk about.
Yeah, she's not letting out every single cat out of that bag. I know she's not. She's a smart lawyer. She kind of says it in Ma'am too. She says, well, we'll be working on this, and I'll be working on it until I get an evidentiary hearing, and if plan A don't work, then there's plan B, C, D, E, all the way down. I mean, she is constantly working on this. She is one of the best. I have so much faith in her because of the Ryan Ferguson case, because he was on a dream. So there was no physical evidence, no nothing but a kid saying he had a dream and he was involved. And he went to prison. He was on, wasn't it death row? He was on death row. I don't know, but he was in prison for 9 years. The guy who had the dream is still there. So for Kathleen to get him out on words and a dream and no physical evidence to present, you have to be good.
Well, it's a shame they ended in prison to start with.
Yeah, exactly. Another case of shady. I'll make my own kind of laws as we go along, prosecuting problems, because if we remember right, it was a prosecuting attorney who turned to a judge that kind of just coerced somebody into saying something or showing them something to make it happen, because it wouldn't have happened without that. So that's, if she can point that out about him, and he's a judge, so it might have been a little harder to get her evidentiary hearing, I don't know, then I think she's going to do justice for Stephen and Brendan. I mean, she's been in it for not so long. I hate hearing the facts that usually it takes up 15 years. I know, but you got to kind of put it out sometimes.
I know.
You know, you don't want to hear it. Like everybody always says Travis is, you know, a downer. No, Travis isn't a downer. He's actually just telling you the way a lawyer does things. And we need to know that. As heartbreaking as it is, we do need to know that.
It's just hard for us to hear that, but it's the truth.
Yep.
And the truth hurts.
It does. It does. It does. So, Zoe, we're getting close to saying goodbye.
Yes, please.
I got to tell you, this has been one of my favorite interviews ever. You really put everything into what this channel and Foul Play is all about. Please, everybody, make sure you join Foul Play. My mods have been putting it up there. Look at the website, Her Baby, because it really is good. I mean, they include everybody in there. There's nobody, you know, discluded unless they're just not nice people. That is a different situation. They're not in it for what we are.
Building on the website and growing things. Right. So what's now on the website is not the final product.
Right.
You know, we still have plans for the website. Just need a little bit more time.
Great. And hey, thanks for putting the team together. And I appreciate it. I love it. I love everybody over there. I think that Foul Play is a place to be. It is where all the cool cats are at. And if you ain't been there, you need to really come and see us. And you won't see us, but you'll hear us. And Zoe is a big, big part of it. And she's got a great heart. And thank you so much, Zoe, for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. You've said a lot, more than I could say in most of my YouTube videos. So thank you so much for joining us. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me so early in the day. If you're just joining and we're going off, sorry, but rewatch because it's really well worth it. Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, guys. Take care.